Hello, and welcome everyone to another episode of Takeover United Pod. We are your hosts. I'm Pratyush. This is Somdeep, and we are back after a bit of a hiatus. Life got busy for the both of us, but we want to talk about the last two games that United played, the two away games. Right? We played Tottenham at their fancy new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and we played Nottingham Forest at the City Ground. Weird name, but whatever. Um, and both games had a very similar game state or game flow, right? They both ended in 2-2 draws. United dominated early game, scored a goal in the first half, and actually, Sondi, we scored a goal in the 34th minute in both the games. One was Casemiro, and the other one was it
Embuemo.
Mbuemo, and then similar things happened. Second half, United at some point lost focus, lost concentration, had a lapse. Forest scored 2 goals in 3 minutes. Spurs scored 2 goals in 7 minutes. And then in both cases, United, if we stretch the definition of Fergie time a little, had a late equalizer, 81st minute against Forest, 96th minute way into injury time against Spurs, right? And salvaged a point.
Yeah.
So that's the story of the two games. We won three games before this, and then we pretty much hit a wall. It feels like in these two games, you would think that they were two winnable games, but unfortunately, they were not. So, Somdi, what are your like high level thoughts on this?
I think both games show like the few things that United are doing maybe well right now, and a vast majority of things that we struggle with. I'll start a little with the Forest game, right?
Yeah,
Because I think the Forest game shows how United's biggest problem, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer referred to this right in the overlap recently. We struggle when the other team is comfortable with letting us have more of the ball.
right.
When United have more possession, typically the game doesn't go the way we want. And I think that was the theme throughout Nottingham Forest versus Manchester United.
Yeah,
Because if you look at the possession numbers, Forest had like 41% or something compared to us. So obviously a
yeah,
huge difference there. But all of that possession didn't translate into box dominance for United at all. Forest had an XG of nearly 2 compared to 1.1 for
mm,
United. And I think the biggest sign of potential issues with Manchester United is this, that when teams are okay with letting us have the ball, when teams are okay with sitting off a little bit and forcing us to play through them, that's when we really struggle. I think an interesting theme with Amorim and United recently has been that our best playmaker is the counter press, right? That's what we rely on for creating openings, for creating chances.
yeah,
And against Forest, we had a few, of course,
right.
but it certainly wasn't as much as Forest created.
Yeah,
And that was the theme of the game. What saved us? Uh, of course, we saw that in both games, but what saved us against Forest was an absolute wonder goal by Ahmad. In the 81st minute, and I'm not so sure that's something we can rely on.
yeah,
Like that's entirely down to the brilliant finish from Ahmad. It's not an outcome of the system or something. It's not from some positive sign we showed otherwise in the game. Uh, I want to point out though, like Casemiro, another goal. Uh,
I'm a corner there too.
like yeah, from a set piece that too, and that's something we'll talk a little bit more about. But it does certainly seem like the football's not left him.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, he also taken off what at somewhere around 60th or 70th minute in both the games, right? I'm trying to pull up the stats, but
Yeah,
yeah, it also
yeah,
feels that his, I mean, we have given credit to Amorim for his fitness related work, right? And it feels like, if he's taking off Casemiro that early every game, despite playing only once a week,
Hmm.
Casemiro probably has fitness issues considering his advanced age and all of that. But the fact still remains that he's still our best player despite the age and all of that. Um,
Yeah.
he did play 90 minutes against Forest, but against Tottenham, which was a week later when he played, he was taken off in the 72nd minute, and for Ugarte of all people. Uh, but like, what you said about us doing bad when we keep possession, right?
Right.
Uh, it's because of our tactic, right? What the internet calls haram ball these days. We're basically a smash and grab team at this point, right?
Yes. Yes, we are.
Like if you
And
if you start from the
deliberately
goal
so.
kick, right? Lamens gets it, holds it up top, you know, targeting Sesko or Mbeumo on the wing, right? Or Ahmad pretty much, and then yeah, lump it up into the center and try to either use Sesko's header or Mbeumo's kind of magic with his feet and kind of get a goal. We bypass defense, we
Yeah.
bypass midfield, we bypass everything. Now, if the other team lets you keep the ball, you can't really smash and grab anything, right?
Yeah, you don't have space
Yeah,
to latch onto those second balls, and you don't have like, it's not quite easy to find your targets when let's say Forest have most of their men back in their own half,
right.
right? uh yeah, I think we've talked about this, like how the tactic can be a little one dimensional,
Yeah,
and how in potentially in games where a team like Forest is okay with letting us have the ball, we'll struggle, and I think we're seeing evidence of that, right? This is something we spoke about in previous episodes, and
yeah,
we were worried about it, and it's actually played out in, like, I know we got a draw, but on the balance of things we probably didn't deserve that, and Forest uh, definitely deserved a win from that game. They were beaten by a wonder strike, so I don't think that bodes so well for us. I want to highlight a little bit about Casemiro. I think, yes, Amram's management of his playing time has been good, right? Uh, it's keeping him fit enough to play every week. But the reason he still has to take him off at the 60-minute mark is because in this system, right, the amount of ground that Casemiro is required to cover, the amount of tackles and second ball wins that are expected of him is immense. And that's not a load that a player, especially at Casemiro's age, can execute easily, especially when he only has one midfield partner, and that partner himself is expected to be very attack minded,
right.
right? And cover a lot of ground himself. So I think all of that is why we're seeing Casemiro taken off at the 68th minute, because without it, like, his tendons are gonna like come apart. That's just how it is.
Yeah, and you can't really blame him, right? Like, just looking at Casemiro's stats for this minute, 72, played a full 90 against Forest, but then before that, 70, 58, you know, um, 85 against Sunderland, one half against Chelsea, 10 minutes against City. Against, like, his legs are pretty much gone at this point. He's going to be 34 in
Yeah.
February, and he's our
Hmm.
best midfielder, or rather, our only midfielder at this point, because
Or the only one who plays.
yeah, because Bruno is not a midfielder. The less Ugarte plays, the better it is, and Minu doesn't get game time. Um, and also, that's kind of the reason why Minu doesn't play, right? Like, he doesn't suit Amarim's tactic, right? His style of
Yes.
play is very different, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, what are the things that Amram seems to want in his midfielders, right? It seems to be like win a lot of second balls,
Right.
uh, win possession as much as possible and cover a lot of ground. I think, contrary to popular opinion, Menu can do those things to a certain extent. Obviously, maybe not like Casemiro, but then very few people can,
Yeah, who
right? Like,
can?
that's not a slight on Menu. I do think he can do it to a certain level because if you remember, before Amram joined in 24-25 under Eric Ten Hag, Mano was actually leading the team in interceptions, blocks, in tackles, and all of those things. So it's certainly a part of his game that he's capable of. The bigger issue is that what Amorim wants from his midfielders, like Casemiro, is to the minute they receive the ball, he wants them to receive and let go of it very quickly. Typically to the wing back or to the centre backs, often the way they're facing, without turning too much. Now it's important to his game for two reasons. He wants a lot of up back throughs, which is like we spoke about, a movement where you play a pass up the field to a player like Casemiro. He plays a backward pass at that point, either to the wing back or the centre back.
Yeah.
And then there's a quick through ball after it, which pushes the team forward. And that's not, like you said, that's not really Manu's game, right? It's not his de facto approach. He takes, he likes to take a little time on the ball because he has the technique to back it and then find openings, move the team up the pitch gradually.
He's
So
a more
that's more his
technical
style.
player compared to.
He's more,
Yeah.
yeah. He's not necessarily someone looking to rush on the ball, right? Like that's not his approach, and I think that's understandable because when you have technical midfielders, like that's kind of expected, right? They that they play like they have time on the ball because they do. They can draw themselves out of situations where other players would probably find themselves, trapped. Uh, so yeah, for those reasons, Menu's not playing, and he's probably going to leave the club. The way things are heading and the way the reports indicate.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he has to find a place where his talents sit better.
Playing football.
I mean, if
Yeah,
United is not the
but
right club for him, he will find a club where his talents are better appreciated or better utilized, right? He can't be.
absolutely,
He's too good a player to be just rotting on the bench for us.
absolutely. I mean, this is a player who was fundamental to England reaching a
Right.
Euros final,
Mm.
right? Like it's easy to say things about him, but that's the reality, right? This happened.
Right.
He became part of that team, and he was a big part of their push in being able to reach the final. He was man of the match against Netherlands in the knockout stages.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and all of that at the age of 18 or 19. In fact, I read the other day uh, the final versus between England and Spain saw the first uh, instance of two teenagers facing off in a European final, Lamine Yamal and Kobe Manu. That's the kind of company he's been in from the beginning of his career. He finished second or third in the Copa Trophy, right?
Mm.
But he can't get a game ahead of Ugarte at Manchester United in 2025. That's how the club is now.
Yeah, and also reports say that, I mean, Amorim doesn't rate even Ugarte at this point. So does it mean he rates Mainu even lower, right?
It does, and that's even more concerning.
Or is it another case of misprofile? Because he says that he's competing with Bruno. Now,
Hmm. Yeah.
what I don't understand is he competing with Bruno the DM or Bruno the 10? Because I play Bruno out of position too.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Like I feel like if you have ostensibly the league's best number 10, right? Which many people think Bruno is. He's certainly up there.
Yeah, yeah.
You would want to play him at his best position, right? Like I feel like yes, he can play elsewhere. We've established that, and yes, he does a wonderful job. But but it's still not the full use of his capability,
Yeah,
right?
and we watched so
No
many
matter how
tens
well.
on top of that.
Yeah, I feel like at this point when we buy players who aren't even tens, but they're like some kind of attacker, we just shoehorn them into being a 10. Like Embuemo's like he's as classic a right winger as you can have. Like you have your Salah, you have like stylistically you have Saka, you have Embuemo. I'm not saying they're the same player, but they're definitely like players who like to play on the right wing, cut in and score goals or make
Hmm.
things happen. And we're lucky that Mbuemo is versatile, so he's able to do all the things expected of him. But we've also shoehorned him into a 10 for most of these games.
Yeah. 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 But yeah, let's talk about the tactic a bit, right?
Hmm.
United. So what we are? I don't mean it's a negative way, but we're kind of what do you think a mid block, right? In games now.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we continue to use the 4-4 out of position, which is um, at least we're not reverted to
Uh,
a 5-3-2 again
I
most of the
think there were
time.
moments where we tried to, press Forest, in a 4-4-2 off the ball, but it was harder because Forest were comfortable just playing long and
Right.
not really giving us an opportunity to kind of press them on the ground high up the pitch, which is smart, right? Like
Yeah.
that's a good tactic from them. Uh, and when we retreat, of course, at that point it becomes a 5-4-1 or a 5-2-3. Uh, so it wasn't that different
Hmm.
off the ball in the Forest game. What I think tactically got exposed for us was that when we were forced to kind of build up and we couldn't rely on winning second balls or playing long, which we tried, but
Yeah.
they didn't succeed that often. Uh, that became much harder for us because we didn't really have great ways of progressing through the middle of the pitch, which is kind of what Forest forced us to do.
Yes. Yes. And we I mean we have no ways of progression, man. Our tactic is basically hoof it up the pitch
Yeah,
to Mvemo or Cunha or Sesko or whoever is up top, and then try to just score from there.
I think I think it's okay for a team to be focused on like
No, it
creating a lot of
yeah.
transitions,
Mhm.
but you have to have like a little bit of variety to your play, right? Like it
Yeah.
can't just be just that.
Yeah, that's the
That's where
problem
we.
with this United, right? It
Hmm.
feels very one dimensional, right? Like every ball,
Yeah,
you know what they will do.
yeah,
The guy
yeah,
in the stands can tell you what we will do.
and Ole highlighted this. If you
Yeah.
look like I know it's definitely possible to think like, okay, but like we're speaking on YouTube, like doesn't
Yeah.
uh, give the whole picture. But if you look at Ole's comments, he said that it's a great system when it works, but you're also reliant a little bit on the other team pressing you up the pitch, right?
Mm.
Because that's what creates the space for playing those second balls and winning them. Forest didn't really do that because, like, why would they, right? They can see through this, and Sean Dyche is well aware that he doesn't need to take needless risks against United. Like, we'll give them the ball sooner than later.
Yeah, man. It's just infuriating, right? When you know the team is better than what they are. You're
Yeah,
playing Forest, who's 19 in the table. You should be putting them away
yeah, this
comfortably.
isn't like that's a good point. Like, I mean, I didn't recall it, but like, yeah, like Forest uh, aren't exactly in the pink of health
Yeah, they're
themselves,
terrible
right?
this season. I mean,
Yeah,
the whole league is
yeah,
terrible, which we'll get to, but Forest
right,
is especially
absolutely.
terrible
Yeah,
this season.
yeah. I think
Like they
Bar
fired their
Arsenal.
manager already.
Yeah, and I think this was what his first or second game. So
Yeah,
it's not like he's had much time to get his ideas across, but his game plan still did way better for them than we did.
yeah,
So maybe there's something to it when Sean Dyche said that if I was managing United, they'd have more points. It's not an unreasonable comment because I think Sean Dyche is a manager who
yeah.
has a history of taking like threadbare squads and getting like points out of them somehow and keeping them in the league.
Right.
Uh, I have no idea what he'd do with a squad like United. Honestly, like I think Forest is already the best squad he's ever had access to by some stretch. So I'm interested to see where they go. Like,
Yeah, yeah. But we are another manager who tried to use this transitions approach with us
Hmm.
got
Yeah.
fired for it. Um, the only difference I see between that 10x side and this is that we seem to concede much less. We have a positive goal difference. So he has kind of, I guess, showed up the back at the defense by putting an extra center back.
Oh,
But are we really that much better? We
yeah.
also
So
had a similar,
honestly, that's
very
like,
one dimensional tactic that season, right? Every game, we would keep trying the same tactic despite it not working. Now, this season, I know we won three
no,
games
I'm
before this, we're undefeated five, so everybody's kind of drinking in. But, I still wonder, are we really that much better? We still finished eighth that season, and we might finish in a similar place, right? It's
yes,
still too early to say
yes,
because second to what 12th is incredibly crowded right now. So
yeah.
it's
But I
hard
have
to
to say,
say where
I think our
we'll
squad
play
was
out.
worse that season.
Hmm.
I I want to say I think our squad was worse that season. We had Onana in goal. We had Hoyland in his debut season in the Premier League.
Okay.
Not the worst, but certainly like not doing that well.
Yeah.
Right now, if Sesko can't score, we still have Embuemo, we still
Right.
have Cunha.
Hmm. True.
Uh, I'm glad you asked this because I feel like yes, in theory we are better defensively than that season, but
Yeah.
that's not saying much, right? And if you look at the big picture, United are I think fifth to seventh for how much XG we've created when playing 11v11, right? So that's not bad. That's kind of decent. However, for XG conceded when playing 11v11, United are 16th or 17th,
Hmm.
which is almost relegation defense form, right? And I think that's concerning. And then it warrants a deeper look. And I think one of the themes has been that we're actually able to still pull goals from somewhere, but we're
Right.
not really able to keep clean sheets. Uh, like barely do we keep clean sheets,
Yeah.
right?
Clean sheets has definitely been a struggle for United. If we just look at this season, how many clean sheets have
Hmm.
we had in the league? Wow. I'm struggling to. We kept a clean sheet against Sunderland.
Okay. Yes, and the tonal.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I saw wrong, but no, no, I didn't.
I no, I think you're right. I don't recall any other clean sheets over the course of the season because Liverpool scored in that win.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. I mean, we don't have much choice now because we're not going to fire this guy and we are stuck with him. So, we see where it goes. But at least we can, I guess, talk about some positives at least. We are, Mbuemo is playing very well. I think, right, you pretty much expect that he will score a goal or assist a goal for you.
Yeah.
Ahmad is playing very
Let,
well. Delic seems to have improved a lot. Fair play to him, right?
let's like kind of highlight that, like kind of like what's the who are the top performers and who are the ones who messed up,
Mm,
right? Like whose stock is risen in these two game weeks for both teams, and
right.
maybe players who didn't fare that well. So okay, like you said, Embuemo, right? I think at this point he's just our go-to attacker
He's a top
for
scorer,
most
five
things.
goals.
Yes, yes, and I think he's been great. I think he's been a good signing, probably a best signing, the one who's adapted really quickly, and he's scoring like, and he was pretty good in both matches as well, along with his goal, of course, but in general play as well. And interestingly, against Tottenham, Mbuemo played on the left wing,
Mm,
which I thought was very interesting. I couldn't immediately figure out why. I did see some theories online that one of Brian's best attributes is his pace and an ability to get behind the defense. And I think maybe the thought process was that Van de Ven plays on his natural side, so maybe putting him on the left uh, can create more openings. But I'm not really sure. Like, I don't know if that is enough to explain why he was put in that
I
position.
honestly have a cynical, more simpler reason for that.
Okay,
Sesko didn't start, right? So you wanted to.
right.
So Cunha had to start up top. There's a gap on the left.
Hmm.
Now, there's really nobody else who plays on the left for us. Mount prefers the right. Ahmad
Uh,
prefers the right. There's really
I mean,
nobody.
Mount can play on the left, but I think he
Yeah, but
wanted
he's more of a right guy, right? And Mount didn't start anyway. So
right
he bought Ahmad to the right 10. We
to play the extra wing back.
Yeah, so Mazrai played wing back that day because
Uh,
yeah, Ahmad was the right 10, so Mbemo went on the left. Simple.
you know what? That's probably it. Like, if you're gonna accommodate an extra defender,
Yeah, and it's not like Mbemo is bad on the
then
left. He can put in a shift,
no,
and he did put in a
he's
shift. He
yeah.
scored a goal.
I think
So
that's the story with Embuemo. Like, we haven't actually played him in his real position in any game. like, like this is an old school right winger who cuts in and scores, and we've never played
yeah,
him
so
like as
okay,
a right winger
what is Mbemo's real position?
in life or at United.
No, no, as a footballer.
I think he's a right winger,
Do we have a
like
right
an
winger position on
archetypal.
our side?
No, we don't. But then that, I mean, I'm just saying we're lucky that this guy is
Yeah,
such a supreme footballer that he can adapt to so many roles. It's not so easy for players to play out of position, is my opinion.
yeah. I mean,
I
Ahmad is
think
playing
players
right
struggle
wing
with
back
that.
for us, so
Yeah,
uh,
that's also credit to Ahmad. Like, he has a work rate to go up and down the pitch all game. Like, not every player can do what Ahmad's doing right now, and somehow contribute defensively and offensively. Like,
yeah. But also, I think to be fair, Sandeep, I think
yeah,
Ahmad I think he has looked better as a right wing back in the last few games because I think we have started to use this, out of position
4-4-2.
4-4-2, right? So
Mhm.
in what's happening
Yeah,
is the left wing back drops back to a left back, your right center back becomes a right
precisely.
back. So your right wing back
Yeah.
doesn't have to run up and down the pitch so much. So that's allowing Ahmad to be a natural right winger.
Yeah, like, let's put it this way: he has more time to like fall back, right?
Yeah.
Because the natural nature of the press means like he's now
Yeah,
higher up the
he's higher
pitch,
up the pitch,
and there's
exactly. Yeah. So I mean, he's
yeah,
kind of
which is
playing
how it
like a
should be.
right
Like,
winger,
that's a good
right?
tactic.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
tactic. I'm not
and
saying
I think
no,
this is
but
a good tactic.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And because of that, when you have this four and then you have another front line of four, Mbeumo is basically
right,
going as the guy behind the striker on the right
precisely.
hand side.
And that's what he is. You know and
Yeah.
that's where the reports
Cutting
of came,
inside,
where
cutting inside right
yeah,
nine kind of
yeah.
player.
Yeah, he's kind of playing. He's technically, I think, United's furthest forward player. He's kind of the main attacking outlet, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
even
pretty
Sesko
much.
likes to drop deeper.
Right, right, right.
Uh, which, to be fair, I think is a like, if you're not using him as a right winger, that's
Mm.
probably the second best usage of him,
Yeah, and
rather
it's like
than
we
expecting him to drop
mm,
deep.
yeah, it's like we talked in previous episode, right? Like fine, do your 3-4-3 or whatever nonsense, but at least if you're using that formation out of position when trying to press the opposition, then at least you have players in more natural positions, right?
Right, right,
Lesser
right.
lines and easier
Hmm.
to kind of drill formations into them, right? Um, yeah, but again, we all talk about the one dimension. At least I won't go that again. But yeah, so like so if you talk about stock up, right? Ahmad again, we talked about him, a very good performance. Um,
Yes, yes.
Casemiro already
I think
mentioned.
Casemiro, excellent. And I think I read some statistic that when Casemiro's been on the pitch, we've conceded like 5 goals. With him off the pitch, it's like 10 or something,
Yeah,
even more.
because do you remember? Just try to tell me who do we substitute Casemiro with generally?
Yeah, I want to talk about this. Like, I want
Let's
to like,
talk
okay,
about
we can
it.
we can highlight that. Yeah, we can highlight this in a different section or something. But Man, Amram's in-game management, like lots of questions. Like I get that he doesn't have the best options on the bench, so I'm not saying that
Hmm.
that's a problem. But uh, I don't know if Ugarte is the guy I'd want to go to, because I think against Forest he had the option of going to Menu,
Yeah.
and I believe he even did go to Menu, or
No, no,
maybe that
no.
was in the previous game.
That
Oh,
was
he didn't, right?
no. So Mino didn't come on in both the games that we're
Right.
talking
In the
about.
second game, he was injured, right? So not
Yeah, yeah.
available
He
for
was injured.
Spurs.
But also in the Forest game, he did only two subs after that
Right.
bollocking we got in those
That
3 minutes. All the two subs he did was Dallo came off for Dorgu and
and a Euro for Maguire, I think.
no, 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 not Maguire. Euro came off for Mazraoui.
Oh, right.
Maguire didn't. Maguire
Wow,
didn't.
that's
Maguire was
right,
left on the
right, right.
bench.
Yeah, because I remember Mazraoui had a terrible game after that, like with like 3 errors in 30
Yeah,
minutes
yeah.
or something.
I mean, both Dorgu and Mazraoui had terrible, terrible games, right?
Right, right.
Dorgu struggled. Dorgu is struggling a lot. We'll come to Dorgu, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So basically,
yeah. We didn't stop.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think his in-game management, like you said, is pretty bad, right? Like, we have seen multiple times this season, he will substitute a center back for a center back. Why?
Uh huh.
Like,
Yeah, a
center
lot of
backs are
people
built to
asked
play
this
90
last season.
minutes. Center backs are built to play 90 minutes. Why is, I mean,
It,
unless he's on a yellow card, I mean, or injured or something like that, we see this a lot, right? Of center. I mean, okay, at least probably I
it's
think
his favorite substitution, like
yeah,
for
I
like
think at
center
least
backs.
for against Spurs, Maguire was injured, but or he got injured, I think, which is why he was subbed off. But we
That's
see
right.
this
Yeah.
often, like keeping these two games aside of Spurs and Forest. We've seen it a lot with Maguire. Sorry, with Amorim, right?
Yeah.
He'll sub a center back for a center back. Why? Or he'll sub a wing back for a wing back. I mean, try something different, dude. You're a goal behind.
You know, wing back for wing back, I still get, like, because like the wing backs in this system, they have to cover like
Oh
an
yeah, no,
inordinate amount of ground.
that is true.
It's like they have to go around the world in 90 minutes every game. So I get it. Right? Like, I get it.
Yeah,
But the center back thing, like I think Gary Neville raised the same thing. Like, what's with that stuff? Like, why does he do that? I mean, what's the point? Unless
yeah. I
they're
mean,
like,
like yeah,
having a
like I said, I
nightmare.
get wing backs, I get midfielders, 10 strikers. You try something different, but center backs they have one job to do.
Yeah, what Amram said to that, because Neville asked the same thing.
Hmm.
Amram's reasoning was that the center backs in the system, they have to consistently jump into midfield and press the opposition players and kind of force them up,
Hmm.
and that's why they often tire really quickly in the setup, because they have to keep like making those runs into midfield and pressing them, and that can be quite demanding. However, I feel like, even having said that, right, like we're the entire team's built on like counter pressing and winning second balls, which is okay. Like counter pressing, good. But, and we'll talk a little bit about this, but everyone's stretched thin. Like everyone's
Yeah.
covering in, like Casemiro's covering insane amount of grounds. Bruno is like covering insane amounts of ground.
I mean, it probably
Ahmad
injured
is
Sesko
tracking.
because of that as well.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, Sesko is being forced to win, like, I don't know, like double digit long balls every game. I don't think that's. I think we highlighted this on the pod. We said that it could have an impact on his body because he's
Yeah,
22.
yeah,
He's and the fact is he goes in for almost every long ball. He doesn't shy away, right?
yeah. Because
And
that's
even
his.
wins most of them.
And yeah, and you're also using him for that, right? Because he's tall, he can jump, and
Yeah,
we're using him for that long ball, get latching on to the long balls, right? And
absolutely. But when that happens like 30 times a game, like, like at that point you're not using him, you're abusing him,
yeah,
and that can lead to problems.
and
Like we
just
just.
look at the stats, man. Against Tottenham,
Mhm.
we had Fortnite doesn't tell me how many total long balls. I guess we can calculate from this. 29 accurate long balls, which is 49%. So we had almost 60 long balls in a game.
Holy
Um,
shit! How many did Tottenham have?
14, and that's
I didn't.
32%. So multiply by 3, that's maybe what, 40? That is still
Yeah.
20 less than us.
And I want to point
And
out
if you look
another
at
thing. A lot of the
the
long
Forest
balls
game,
would be.
sorry,
I'm interested. How
just
many
one thing.
long balls do Lamins have?
It doesn't say that. But
Okay.
no, just saying. If you look at the Forest game, right?
Hmm.
Even there, we have 31 long balls, which are accurate, and it's 50%. So we are like more than 60 long balls. And because it's
Again, yeah.
Sean Dyke, he matched
You
us.
expect. Yeah, he would
I
match
mean,
us,
he
but
had
you expect
23
that, right?
accurate long balls, but it was only 37%. So if you do a quick maths on this, it'll probably
About
be around
60
60,
again.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So but we know that
Well, a
is
little
that is
less.
that is Sean Dyke's tactic. I mean,
Technically, a little less than 60, right?
no,
Like,
it's 62, which is the
okay.
same as
It's
us.
about the same. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And let me see, Lamens. I mean, there are
But
player
that's
stats here,
okay.
but
That's confusing to me because, Forest had 41% of the ball. We had 60%,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
So the
yeah,
team with like 1.5
yeah.
times
I
the
get what you're
possession
saying. Yeah,
played the exact same number of long balls, which like theirs can still be situational, and we know that that's the situation from their tactic. But that means like even when we have the ball, we don't want to have the ball.
yeah. And
But,
just to
like,
answer your question around long balls of
mhm.
Lamens,
Right?
um,
Yeah,
he had 19 long balls against Forest, but only five were accurate, which makes sense because Forest were compact at the back, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
against
It
Tottenham, who
does.
played a bit more open, 25 long balls out of the 10 were accurate. So 25 long balls, man, by the goalkeeper.
Which means in every game, at least one third of our long balls are from the keeper, which I think makes sense. You would expect the keeper to play a big chunk of your long balls, but it's still a big number,
It's a
man.
big number. We had
Like,
62 long
yeah,
balls, and 25 of
yeah.
them were
And I know
almost
Lamas played
like,
third.
yeah, sorry, good.
And sorry, I was just saying that, and I know Lamins played 30 against Sunderland. So
Oh,
it's a
really?
theme. Yeah, he broke some kind of record by doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I can quickly pull it up. But yeah, so that's the thing, right? I mean, man, who would have thought we'd have been a long ball team, man?
I mean, we are, and I think Sesko's like okay, like since we're talking about long balls and stock up and stock down. Sesko, his stocks, and it's related to the long ball problem. His stock's gone down in the last two games specifically, hasn't? Because before that,
When was it up?
no, I think I think in the three games before that, right? He had a run of
I
uh,
mean, sure, he scored a
like
goal twice.
yeah, but he had an assist, and I think he had like 4 GA or 5 GA in three games, something like that. Even stretching all the way back to the Chelsea game when he won, when he
Mm,
caused the red card with the
I
with
don't
the knock
see
on.
any assists for him. Oh, yeah, he has one assist and he has two goals. So
Oh,
that's pretty
okay,
much, yeah, 2G and 1A.
okay, okay. And his general play, people had started raving about it after these three games, but the last two
See,
games his
I
stock
mean,
has taken a nosedive.
I get why they're raving about Cisco because he's being compared to Florian Wirtz, who still is yet to
Yeah,
do anything at all in what,
yeah,
16
yeah,
games. Like that has
yeah,
been an absolutely miserable transfer for Liverpool. And obviously, I take full pleasure in dunking on Wirtz using Sesko as an example. But
yeah.
that doesn't mean
Absolutely.
Sesko has really lit up the stage for us. And now he's injured.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we've been making fun of Gyökeres all season, and the guy's on basically 10 goals. Like, and it's the beginning of November. Like, I don't think 10 goals is a bad return from all the names Gyökeres has been called. Like, I would take that, right?
Yeah, yeah. But I think
Uh,
also it is, I think Gyökeres has been more in Europe because in the league he's been bad.
we say that, but I think he has 4 league goals as well.
No, I mean, even if you take goals and assists, he has four goals and assists combined. I don't know if that what's the breakdown for that. But yeah, I mean, he's been terrible in the league. Is what I'm trying to say. He has four goals, so no assists basically, and one of them is a penalty. So
Okay, but if we leave aside Haaland, right? Let's leave Haaland out of any goal conversion stats because it's Erling, right?
yeah,
The next best guy has what, 6 goals?
he got
I think
Thiago.
it's Igor Thiago
In
from
that, three are
Brentford, I think, is
penalties.
6.
Three are penalties in that.
Yeah. And one is against, one or two is against us, if I'm not wrong. He's been good, but I'm just saying the next guy is on 6 goals, right?
Yeah, Danny Welbeck.
Yeah, Danny Welbeck, and I think Semenyo is also on 6, if I'm not
Semenyo,
wrong.
Mateta, and Welbeck are on 6.
Okay. So Gyökeres on 4. Not He's not setting the league like on fire, but it's not the worst, right? Like,
Yeah,
and
but
Cunha's on 1. Like,
Voltemade is on 4, Salah is on 4, and Salah is being raked over the coals.
yeah, but that's because people expect Salah to score like Haaland,
Yeah,
because that's what he does every
right.
season. He does score like Erling. So in comparison to that, he's on 4. Nobody expects Gyökeres to score like Haaland. Like,
Yeah.
uh,
But
I
also,
mean,
Arsenal is doing well. They'll probably win the league finally.
yeah, I think they're a good team, and I think Gyökeres' goals are as much a function of how good Arsenal are, and partly, like, of course, I think his movement's also good because everyone clowns on strikers who just score tap ins, but
Hmm.
I think you have to have great movement to score a tap in, and Gyökeres may not have much else, but he has that. He has that smell of where to run
Right.
for a goal, and for
Yeah.
lack of a better term,
Yeah. No, no, I get
Holland
what
did
you're
not have
saying.
that.
Who
Ho-
doesn't?
Holland was
Oh,
Holland did not have that. He, like, by comparison, he was olfactorily challenged. He didn't have that. He had everything else,
yeah.
but he didn't have that.
No, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's why we sold him. But, yeah, I mean,
Hopefully.
hopefully. Uh, I mean, coming back to stock up and stock down, right? I mean, obviously,
hmm
Sesko
hmm
is
I think
having
definitely dropped
drop.
in these 2 games.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, one game he was like, it didn't start because he was injured. I think he came on, right, against Tottenham, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he
that's
came
the
on
thing.
in the
Like,
58th minute. Who did he replace? He,
was it Mount?
Mazraoui.
Maybe
No, he
Mazraoui.
replaced.
Oh yeah, right,
Yeah, he replaced Mazraoui, and then this switch happened. Ahmad went to the wing, Cunha came on the
right.
left, Booba went to the right,
hmm
Sesko went up top.
I have a feeling some of the hate Sesko is getting is overblown. Yes, he was poor. Yes, he did miss that 1v1. Not that 1v1, but that chance where Van de Ven caught up with him.
Yeah,
But I have a feeling he was moving gingerly even before that. Like, his sprints have been much slower in the last 2 games, and I think it's just a function of how many long balls we spammed him. At some point, his body's going to break down, and that kind of happened, right? When he landed, like, if you see the sequence where he misses that chance, right? It starts with a long ball from
of
Lammy
course.
to Sesko, yeah. And credit to Sesko, he wins it brilliantly. And he doesn't just win it; he flicks it on to, I think, Embuemo or someone else perfectly. Then he a mount, and then he makes the run, and he also makes the run. But when he lands, right, you see his left knee, his entire left foot leg is extended, and he lands on that leg. And I think that's what causes, like, the pressure he felt in the knee. And right after that, see, you can see him buckle a little in the run, and Van de Ven catches up with him. So
Yeah,
I don't want to, like, criticize him too much. His stock has dropped for sure, but I think he'll be fine if we give him time to kind of recover from this.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he also pulled out of the international break to kind of focus on recovery so they do not stress
Right.
his knee too much. But again,
Yeah.
that's the thing, right? Yeah, before we continue other places talk us down, I want to ask you this. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, we're talking about long balls and the tactic being tiring and blah, 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 blah. But Sondi, we're playing
Yeah.
one game a week. Um,
Yeah.
if your goal is to, I mean, obviously, Amorim has said this as well, he wants to play in the Champions League, right? He wants to go deep in cups. Now, that pretty much means 2 games a week for almost every week of the season, right? And now in December, you will have 2 games a week because December doesn't have many midweek non-league games in both December
hmm
and to an extent in January as well, right? December is the
Right.
time when you generally see some midweek PL games, right? If you look at a schedule, we have 6 games in December, right? We in that some days they don't play on Saturday. I think it's probably a League Cup week or something. But what I'm saying is how will we keep up with this, right? If your team is breaking down with one game a week because of your high
Yeah.
pressure, tactic which doesn't let up at all, right? I mean, I don't know, man. Feels like even Clock's gegenpress tactic would give a breather to the players. We are like all the time.
I mean, he had to adapt. Like eventually, Klopp did like adapt and introduce a little bit of like control to the game. Right? It wasn't like
Yeah,
uh, and you have to remember that Klopp didn't only focus on playing long and winning second balls. He had like a lot more variation to the team than yes they worked a lot on transitions, of course, and that made sense. But they had other modes too. They had many ways to play through teams. Uh, I'm gonna answer your question with my one of my own questions related to this. We're playing one game a week,
yeah,
right? And not many other big teams are. In fact, I mean, even teams who finished eighth and ninth aren't, right? We finished 15th. Uh, we're playing one game a week, which means we have more training sessions than most other teams in the top half. And the outcome of all of that extra training session is this. We went to the training ground, we had extra time, and like focused on coming up with play long and win second balls, and that's it. That is the extent of what we could come up with.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna keep saying you have to drill the tactic, you have to drill the tactic, you have to drill the tactic. Bro, you've been drilling the tactic for more than 50 games now.
Holy shit! Yeah, and it's been 50 games, and
It took him
he's
50
crossed the
games
38.
to change his out of position to something that works better, right?
Why couldn't it come sooner?
Yeah, if this had come last season, we wouldn't be calling for his head this much, right?
Of course not. Yeah,
Because we would have
yeah,
got
of
better
course not.
results.
Yeah.
See, ultimately, every tactic has its flaws and pluses and minuses.
Hmm.
If this is the tactic that he picked, I mean, sure, we're not even saying don't use this tactic. We're just having have some alternatives, right? Like he's so laser focused on one thing. Like till the team is perfect, I will only use this, bro. Like your team will never be perfect because again, the winter will buy someone, the summer will buy someone, players will leave, players will
And
come in.
we're gonna lose three players for Afcon, right? With
Oh my god!
Embo Ahmad and Mazraoui all going at the same time.
Wait, Masroi too? Oh, Moroccan.
Yeah. And if we buy Baleba, then him too.
Oh my god!
Everyone is counting on like the only person who can save us, and that's Andre Onana. Because like an early howler from him means Embuemo leaves early. But that still means no Ahmad. So
Oh man, yeah, it's insane, man. Like I don't get it. Like how is this team like? Let's say we play in Europe next year, right? Maybe not the Champions League, maybe the
mhm,
Europa or the Europa Conference League, right? I mean,
right.
if we end up in the top 10, we have a good chance of at least playing in the Conference League, right? Then you'll have two games, and especially Europe has more games now, right? With all the new Swiss League system
Hmm.
that UEFA
Yeah.
has introduced. So, which by the way, United hasn't tried because we haven't played in Europe since then. But um, there will be more games, right? And if you want to go deep in the cups, which I'm guessing you'll at least expect a quarterfinal or a semi-final at least in the League Cup and the FA Cup, right? That's a lot of games, man. That's a heck lot of
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
And
That it
if
is.
your
And
players can't keep up with one game a week playing your tactic, right? I mean, our squad is actually very thin. Um, if you actually think about it, right? Um, People say Amorim doesn't rotate. He doesn't rotate, I think, for two different reasons in different parts of the pitch, right? At the front, you have a lot of players who can play in the 10th and strikers, but the people are playing now are playing well. So he probably wants to keep that consistency and not rotate too much, right? So you see
right.
Mbuemo and Sesko and Cunha play a lot of games, right? And Mount, when he's not
Yeah.
injured, comes in.
But but but,
But if you go to
but
the middle of
I
the
wanna say
pitch,
something.
one second. If you go to the middle of the pitch, midfield, You literally have nobody. You are forced to play Casemiro and Bruno every game because there's nobody else. Um,
Yeah, I mean, other than Kobe, yeah, there's no
yeah,
one. I agree.
exactly. Right. There's nobody
Yeah,
else, or
yeah.
even wing backs. Who do you have wing backs? Literally
We don't
Dorgo
have
and
wings.
I think people who play in that position, we have nothing, right? So
Yeah,
that's a problem.
I agree.
We are very thin. We only have centre backs and tens in this side. We have nobody else. If you think about it,
Uh, yeah, but what you're saying is true, especially with the midfield thing, because this it's literally Bruno, Casemiro, and Kobe. There are no other options.
yeah,
Like in
wing
my head,
back is
at least.
Ahmad and a prayer on the left.
Yes, essentially, because the minute Ahmad's not at right wing back, we're always worse. It doesn't matter who plays in his
Yeah,
position.
yeah,
Like whether it's Dallo, whether it's Mazraoui, whether it's Darko, it's never like that good.
yeah. Because if you're using say
Uh,
the 4-4-2 position or system out of position, right? I mean, who's your right wing back?
right.
If Ahmad doesn't play, Nusay Mazraoui. Mazraoui is not a right winger.
He's not, and he doesn't have the stamina to cover the amount of ground Ahmad does. The
Yeah,
only one who can realistically take that position other than Ahmad is Dallo or Dargu, and for different reasons, both struggle at right back, at right midfield, I guess.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, there's another thing though. In the positions where there is some rotation possible, right? Like say for instance, when a player like Sesko isn't playing that well, when they're uh, in the Forest game, right? Sesko wasn't playing well in that game either, and he could have been taken off.
yeah.
We didn't take him off. We didn't bring on Joshua Zirkzee, and I don't understand why. I understand the plan is spam long balls to Sesko, but Zirkzee could at least be an option for us.
Mm.
Uh, I'm not expecting him to do it to the same level as Sesko, but it's certainly possible.
Yeah. Or at least just try something else, man. If you're down to one and your long ball spamming is not working because the other team is giving you so much of the ball that you really can't execute a system, try something else, right? You have entire week to drill alternate systems, man. Like, come on. Like, if you think
Yeah,
about it, Sandeep, this is the best season for Amorim to drill 2 or 3 systems into the side because there's so much time on the
absolutely,
training pitch, right? Like, sure, you like your three
absolutely.
for three, go for it. And I'm not saying don't play your favorite system or play it. Sure, do it, right? But for the times when it doesn't work out or it's you're falling behind, like Forest, right? You're playing well for an entire half. I get it. We played good football for the first half, and then you have a lapse in concentration. You concede 2 goals, and then Shondek has you by the jugular, so you're not able to score anything. Try something else, dude. You have an entire week to prepare another system.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know when that's gonna change, but I agree.
Yeah. So that's what infuriates me. It's not that using 3-4-3 or not. I don't like 3-4-3, but have some other options, right? You're like Shondek's kid can tell you how to play this at this point. But yeah, I just did want to before we move on to the last segment. I I did want to talk about this guy, man, Dorgu.
Hmm. Yeah.
So when we buy him, January, right? This year.
Yes. January 25. Yeah.
Yeah. So bought him for 30 odd million. He was supposed to be a very good player at wing back. We thought he is the natural wing back that we wanted, right? Like it was supposed to be a good transfer, a player in position, right? It's not like we bought Pogba and played him as DM or something, right? He is a wing back. We playing him in his natural position, right? You really can't blame Ineos or Amorim or anybody for that. But
I mean, okay. Yeah.
I mean, he's a wing back, right? I mean, he was supposed to be, I don't know, Alvaro and him were supposed to be what the two promising wing backs at that point, right? But like,
Right. Yeah.
no, what I want to ask is, he seems like he's regressed a lot from last season. Like he's been
He
terrible.
has.
He's been
Yes.
terrible.
Yes.
Like Amaru was playing Dallo ahead of him, and he finally got fed up of Dallo's mistakes, and he started playing Dorgo, and even he's again been bad as well. We literally have nobody on the left. It's a prayer. That's why I said we have Aman on the right and your prayer on the left. We have two bad left wing backs.
I think I don't usually say this, but I think Amorim is right to play Dalot at left wing back.
Mm.
I do think there are benefits to him there. And for whatever reason, like one of the things is that Dalot probably can cover the most ground of any player on the team, and that left wing back slot requires a lot of ground coverage. Uh, and sometimes even for Dorgu, that can prove a bit too much because it's tough, right? Uh, I actually think Dorgu's strengths are more of a traditional fullback than a wing back because what often happens is in Amram's system is that he ends up on the edge of the box and he's expected to cut in and shoot or go to the byline and cross, right? And he does the go to the byline and cross thing sometimes, but not always accurately. He's regressed, like you said. Uh, I just feel like most of his strengths work better as a traditional fullback, where he's kind of defending, he's making late runs and joining the attack, and then playing early crosses from wide. I think that's kind of his strength. Uh, but overall, I agree with you. He's definitely regressed in his development right now. Doesn't seem to have much thought behind it. I'm not sure why, but uh,
Yeah, it's baffling, right? It's not like he's not getting game time or anything like that, right? I mean,
he's getting game time.
he's getting
Yeah,
game
he is.
time.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly lost for words. He was supposed to be a better player than this.
I think that's part of the risk when you're buying young players. Like Doggo was 2020 when we bought him, right? Uh, and I always say this, like whether it's Dorgu or whether it's a Garnacho, right, or whether it's even Kobe, who these are talented players. But uh, when Arsenal bought William Saliba, right, he was the next best CB coming out of France, and that was well known. But he was young. He was, I think, 19 or something, and they were aware of his age, so they sent him back on loan for a whole season because he wasn't able to break into Arsenal's starting lineup.
Right.
Uh, they had at the time they had better options, or so they felt. What that gave him was time to play regularly, yes, but also build that confidence and consistency that not every young player has, right? That no young player has. So with Dorgu too, I think the performances are going to be up and down for a while because yes, he's young. He also doesn't have a settled role in the squad. We don't know if he's first choice, second choice. We're not even sure if his best position is left wing back, right? Like it often feels like maybe he's a better left back. It sometimes feels like, oh, maybe he should play right wing back. It's not very clear because, like everyone else, I think he is also shoehorned into a role that doesn't fully fit him. He has the attributes for it, but I don't know if he's like. It's actually interesting you mentioned Alvaro because I think Alvaro is further along in his development than Dorgo. I know they're similar age or whatever, but I think he's played more top level football. He's had a championship load, which we can't discount the quality of. He's played in La Liga before with Granada.
Yeah.
I think Alvaro has had more exposure and is also a more talented player who's kind of further on the development curve right now than Dorgo is. So Alvaro would have adjusted to the difficulties of Amorim's left wing back role. Dorgu hasn't. Uh, but he's also being expected to do a few things which I don't think he's ever going to do reliably. Like he's never going to be the guy who cuts in and scores on the corner of the box, right? That is not something he's good at. Um, I hard. I don't know how we solve this. Like I know that's the primary goal of your question. Like
Yeah.
how do we get better here? Uh,
Maybe a transfer at this point. I don't know.
Maybe a loan, or maybe a transfer, or maybe a change of
No, no.
system
I
and a
mean,
different
buying another
coach.
player, not selling Dorgu. I mean,
Oh,
we
right.
definitely need another.
Okay. Oh, I mean, like, how do we get better? Like, I was trying to think. No, but I think the problem is also like, how do we improve Dorgu, right? Because if we spend 30 million and this
Yeah,
is a
I think
potential.
I hope he will get better, right? I think fundamentally he's not a bad player, although I would have much
Mhm.
preferred Alvaro over him. But well,
Of course, and
can't be
I think
changed now.
you would said the same thing even then,
Yeah,
and you were. I mean, you're obviously right then, but like I think your time has proved you even more so,
yeah, but
right?
what I'm saying is I don't think Dorgu is a fundamentally bad player. he
Right.
he like you said, he's a young player. He's only what 21. He will have
Yeah,
hot and cold periods a lot, right?
he will. He will.
I think what would help is if we buy an older player who can rotate with him in that position. By rotate, I'm using the term
Yeah,
rotate very loosely. I'm not saying buy a senior player to play as a rotation option. Maybe buy a first
yeah,
teamer, like somebody's 25, 26, who can give 3, 4 seasons. Meanwhile, Dorgo
yeah.
can grow into that role. So that, playing Dallo at that, in that position along with him as the other option is not really teaching Dorgo much, right? Um, Dallo
It's
is
definitely not like,
uh,
yeah. It's definitely not teaching him much, but I do think, like, I don't. The problem with Diallo, I feel, is that I don't think there's any other place for him in the squad. Like, if, like,
sell
for
him.
me, he's not good enough at right wing back. Uh,
Sell him.
I don't know. I don't think he should be a starter every game, but I think he is good enough to be in the squad. Just because the kind of fullbacks and wing backs United could realistically attract
Mhm.
aren't necessarily going to be a huge improvement on him. I fear the only way we get a real improvement on him is going young and talented, which will come with pretty much the same risk as Dorgo for a while.
But
Is
I
how I
mean,
see.
who would you go for? Who do you think is a realistic option?
That's a definite improvement on Dalo and will come to United.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 seasons ago, I may have suggested Anthony Robinson, but right now, I'm not even sure about that. Like, realistically, he might come, but I don't know if it makes sense for us to go for a 28-year-old player like, when we're not certain of the level he'll play at.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
I would have said Federico DiMarco, but he's not coming.
I'm hesitant to. I know Demarco is
And
somebody
he has
that
pace and
uh,
crossing, which is what we need in a wing
he
back.
does. He does, and he is obviously a great wing back, right? Like,
Yeah.
when he's better than the options we have. But Demarco last season, like, I know this season he's been on fire, but
Yeah.
last season he had a very on and off year. He had issues with stamina and recovery and everything. And Carlos Acosta actually played a pretty decent chunk of time in his place. I don't know if Demarco had those issues in Serie A. I wonder how that would translate to the Premier
Yeah.
League.
Yeah, but
Uh,
really, who else you get, man? I mean, like what? Theo Hernandez, because he plays in Saudi, he
I mean,
went there
that's not
for
going
the
to
bag,
happen.
so he's not coming here.
He's not coming to United.
He's not leaving Saudi, is what I'm
Like I
saying.
said,
Doesn't
yeah,
matter
like I
which
said,
club.
the realistic option is getting someone younger.
Kirkus?
Kirkes would arguably have fit this role for United better than the role Slot sometimes uses him in at Liverpool, where he's in a
Yeah.
back three out of in possession. I think as a flying wing back, he'd have been a little bit better at
Yeah.
United, but
But I mean, I'm trolling with
he is
Kirkus,
also
man. He's at
young.
Liverpool. He's not coming here.
Yeah, and he's young. He's also erratic. He
Right.
also has his up and down moments, like
Mm.
Liverpool are finding out. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, the only other player is, like you said, Anthony Robinson, who has been kind of iffy.
yeah, and I think he's kind of past his peak, and now that gradual sort of loss of pace, decline, or whatever, like, just those minor changes might start. So I,
Yeah.
I don't even know if Robinson's the way to go.
I really can't think of anybody
Purely
else, man.
purely out of selfish reasons of wanting to see United play more attacking football and not
Mm.
from like a team building perspective. I'd like to see a hard work, like, I'd like to see a left winger with a high work rate who
Mm.
can play there instead. Uh, uh, kind of like Pedro Neto, but for United. I know this isn't going to happen. This is not realistic, but it would make the team more fun to watch.
Yeah, yeah. Or maybe if Alfonso Davies doesn't like Bayern, he can come here.
Oh, sure, yeah. If you're being, you know, let's get both. Let's get Davies and Nuno Mendes, right? Because
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Nuno Mendes, man.
yeah, let's go big. Like, go big
Really?
or go home.
At
Yeah,
least Alfonso Davies, there have been some speculation that he might leave Bayern. Nuno did. Nuno just won a Champions League.
They did both use United to get new contracts,
True,
so they do
true.
have that much in common. Yeah.
No, that is true. That is true. But yeah, I guess yeah, we end on the Dorgu note. We can quickly
Mhm.
uh yeah, we can do predictions this time so that if we do a episode next week, we can talk about something else at the club and not about past and future matches. Um
Yeah.
yeah, so there are two games in a week coming up, the week after the international break, right?
Okay.
You have Everton at home,
All right.
and which I thought was a midweek, but no, it's just the Monday game of that weekend. And then
Okay.
you have Palace away.
Okay.
I would say these are two. I would say these are two very winnable games, if you ask me. The
This
league is
should be
terrible right now,
right.
man. We have very good
Yeah, this
players.
should be. Yeah. Yeah, this
We
should
actually
be.
have good players. I mean,
This,
apart from sure, the midfield is a player. Is a prayer, and your left wing back is also a prayer. But still, have more than half the side that has good players, right? I mean, we didn't even talk
I mean,
about
we don't
Delict, who has
have to
improved a
play a
lot.
setup which has a left wing back, right? If you don't have a left wing back, don't play left wing back. Is how I see it. Like,
Yeah. But I mean, we didn't even, yeah, I mean, we ran out of time to talk about Delict, but who's also been very good and improved a lot under this manager. So I really think we should be putting away teams like Everton and Palace, man. Come
in theory, especially with the players and the investment we have, yeah,
on.
we
Yeah,
should absolutely. There's no, because like our budget, our expenditure, everything is crazy. In reality, with the players and manager we have, not so easy. Especially with the approach we have right now. Both Everton and Palace are teams that are going to be comfortable with letting us have the ball and then counter pressing us.
Hmm.
And to me, that's typically a recipe where we don't do well. So I'm going to predict that we lose both games. Both teams will be scoring, but I predict like 2-1 or 3-2 losses for United in both games.
Oh, in both games. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think these teams play to a formula like Forest, which
Hmm.
doesn't suit us at all. And arguably, they're a little better this season than Forest. I'm not saying that teams are better. I'm just saying that they're in a better moment than
Right, right.
Forest.
Yeah. So I'll probably break with you on this.
Okay.
I think we will beat Everton, maybe 2-1 or something like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
3-2, I really don't see it happening. I don't think we are good enough to score a third or Everton to score a second, honestly. I just don't see that.
Fair. Yeah.
But I mean, well, I also didn't see Forest scoring 2 goals, so what do I know? But
All right.
I
Yeah.
think the other game against Palace, I think Palace will be obviously harder opposition. Um, Palace also has a +5 goal difference this season. So I think they're defensively more
What's that
solid.
like?
I mean, we have +1 as well. Come on, don't beat yourself up. Uh, but we have scored more than
Wow.
Palace and also conceded more than Palace. So I think the Palace
Oh,
would be probably a 2-2 draw, is what I'm thinking.
not a bad shout. Yeah, I can see that.
And I forgot to change the
I
title.
think that's maybe the most realistic shout. But in my view, I think it's going to be a loss. But yeah, 2-2 is a reasonable take for sure.
But you don't think we can even beat Everton?
I'm not convinced of it. Like if it was Brighton we were playing,
Hmm.
I would have thought Brighton would beat us too. But I can see elements in Brighton's game which suits us better. Everton with Moyes, I feel like they'd be very comfortable with like letting us have the ball and forcing us to play through them, which is exactly what they want. Like
Yeah,
unless we
yeah,
come up with some dramatically different approach,
right.
uh,
I just want to beat
maybe it
boys,
could be
man.
a, even Moyes didn't finish below 7th.
True, true. Your point.
And he got one sign.
A tree.
And he was sacked midway for being 7th.
Yeah, he was sacked
We
when
didn't
we
let
were
him finish the
mathematically
season.
eliminated from Champions League positions.
Yeah.
Not even Europa, not Europe, just Champions League.
Yeah. Yeah, just Champions League. Yeah.
Yeah. See before we end. You see, that's the thing, right? On one side, I do get the logic that you should look at a long term view,
I
but then
agree.
again, if it takes you 50 games to change your out of position formation, and you still are so
Yeah,
one dimensional after an entire season, that's the thing. Amorim has finished his 1 year at United, and he has,
I
right?
started seeing like a lot of comments, right, about this. That I think Amram after the Forest game said that it's an improvement because we'd have lost that game last season. And
I agree.
on
They
one
did
part,
show
I
good
agree.
mentality in both the games, and Amorim did touch upon
Yeah,
that.
and I want that to be framed like the next time we lose a game. For whatever reason, and the players get accused of wanting Amram out.
Oh,
That's
that
not the
okay.
case,
That
right?
yeah, mhm.
Yeah, like the players have clearly kept him in a job, right?
Yeah,
Like you can't accuse the team of that looking at what Ahmad and Tilak just did. They didn't give up at all,
right.
right? Whatever the tactic may be, whatever. But I also realized after some time that yes, we'd have lost that last season, but the reason we'd have lost last season is also Amr. Right, you see how it's like it's convenient to finish 15th and be like, oh, but like we're ninth now, we're better than 15. Of course you're better than 15, but you're the ones who finished 15, right? You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so it's crazy to me, but somehow finishing 15th is even now helping him stay in a job because it's impossible not to feel like there's an improvement because like of course there's an improvement. We're not 15th, right?
Yeah. I mean, like we
But the
touched
deeper
upon, right?
question is,
What's also
yeah,
helping me is that the league has been spectacularly bad this season.
yes, it has. It really has. Like, if you leave aside Arsenal
Yeah,
and Man City, and even City have had like their initial ups and downs until Pep
yeah.
figured the team out.
But
Uh,
Chelsea in third is 2 points ahead of us, and we are tied with four other teams.
yeah, and Liverpool's been Liverpool. Like, we know how they've been. I don't want to criticize Liverpool because I know that squad went through a lot. So, fair. Uh, but they have been up and down. That's all I'm saying. Like they've had their own share of inconsistency for whatever reason, and uh, I think even they would agree they've not played to their full ability
Man,
this
Liverpool has
season,
been
right? Like,
terrible this season.
yeah, like they're capable
We
of way
beat
more.
them.
We know that. Exactly, and that is not a reflection of the quality of either team or
Yeah.
manager.
Uh,
We know
uh,
that.
and you know
So
what's another wild stat, Somdeep?
yeah,
Liverpool are the only team in the Premier League this season
hmm,
that have not drawn a game.
wow. It feels like that though. They've been in a lot of like back and forth
Yeah.
matches. I feel. Uh, And okay, it's not just Liverpool. I mean, Newcastle have been much worse than last. Newcastle have been terrible,
Newcastle have
right?
been
They've
abjectly
fallen off a
bad.
cliff. Yeah, they've fallen
Yeah.
off a
I
cliff.
think this shows how
Um,
much they rely on Isaac and
yeah, I mean, Isaac's also fallen off a cliff, so it's like you know,
yeah. I
uh,
wonder if he
maybe the whole thing was
regrets.
a fluke.
I wonder if he regrets leaving, man. If he regrets leaving, right? Alexander Isaac.
Yeah, he well might.
I mean,
I don't
Newcastle
think the
made
league has
bank
been
though.
shocking though.
Newcastle made absolute bank.
If they spent a
Transfer.
big amount of it, but yes, I mean, Waldemar is doing decent, so
Yeah.
fair. He's doing better than Sasko, so yeah,
Yeah.
at the moment,
And Voldemort had a slow start, but I think he's looking to be better. He's improving,
for sure.
which
Yeah,
is what
he's
I
getting goals, he's
feel
getting
Sesko will
assists.
also improve because similar league, similar challenges.
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
There have been signs that he will contribute. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way. Yeah, but I think Arsenal and City aside, uh, and oddly enough, even Chelsea. I don't think Chelsea are that bad, but of course Chelsea have their own inconsistencies and lots of personnel changes.
Right.
Um, one of our own's doing well there, so that's always nice. Uh, We can't. We can barely recruit for ourselves, but we're handing out talented players to teams around the world. That is
Really,
always wonderful to see.
I am not ready to die on the Garnacho hill just yet. He's barring that one game being so
Man,
bad.
Alvaro starting at left back for Real Madrid, and Rashford maybe not starting because it's because of
Yes,
injuries, but
Rashford, Alvaro,
he is
yes, but
getting output.
not
Yeah.
Garnacho, man. Like Garnacho has been,
Like, okay, we're clowning Garnacho, right? And obviously, like Cunha is a much better player. So I am not
yeah.
saying that Garnacho is a better player. He's not. But goals and assists have some value, right? Like you can't like I don't want to judge a player on goals and assists. I know that's not the whole picture. But to say ignore his goals and assists, like how people say with Rashford, it
Mhm.
makes no sense. How can you ignore the most important part of a match? Like games are literally decided on goals and assists,
Yeah.
right? So y- your analysis of a player can't be like, oh, we're going to ignore the most like critical contribution a player can make and just look at everything else. Uh,
No, I think just that with Garnacho, there was so much hype on the in the transfer, right? And also all the drama that happened with United.
right.
And I think the expectations were just simply much higher. And
Yeah,
he has
that's true.
played, I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of games, right? I mean, um, like he gave the impression that he's better than Acuna, right? Like that was a kind of expectation that was set on Garnacho, right? Because he had a
Yeah.
very good season
I
before
think,
that, uh,
yeah. Yeah.
right? There are some stats which compare him to Lamine Yamal and say he's almost as good as him. So I mean, keeping all that in mind, right? When you see
Right.
how he has played, he this season against Chelsea,
Mm.
if you keep all that in perspective, it's been spectacularly bad, right? Like yes, his Wolves game was good, but if you exclude the last game, and because the discourse has mostly been his performances before Wolves, right? He didn't have a
Right.
single assist. He scored two assists in the Wolves game, but he didn't have anything before that, right?
No,
He
he had an assist before that too.
no, he didn't.
In
No, he didn't.
he
He
had
scored
it
a goal against
in Europe.
Karabag, I think, the equalizer, and he scored a goal, I think, the winner against Sunderland, if I think. But
I think he had a assist in Europe though.
no, I only seeing the goal
Okay then.
against Karabag for
Okay, then I think I'm remembering it wrong.
yeah,
Or maybe the assist didn't go to him, but he played the pass, but it had
probably.
a deflection. Yeah,
But
probably
which
something
game
like
though?
that.
He
Yeah.
didn't play against Ajax. Benfica, he played 60 minutes. Probably the Benfica game.
I think it was against Benfica, but yeah, the assist didn't go to him. So yeah,
Oh,
that's that.
sorry, I missed. Did I miss some games here? Yeah, nothing. No.
He played like okay. There is one thing though. He's only had like 532 minutes, which is the equivalent of just under 690s, right?
Right.
So like 4 GA in 690s isn't
I mean,
terrible.
Wolves was his
I'm not saying
first
it's great.
90-minute game. In fact, he didn't
Yeah,
have a 90
he's
minute
been
game.
wedded in very slowly. He played 75 minutes against Liverpool, and I know he didn't get a goal and assist, and I don't think he was particularly good that day.
But he
He
played
wasn't.
well though that day, even though he did not get a goal and assist.
Yeah, like his effort level so high, and I think his pressing and his contribution to the team structure helped them win.
Hmm.
uh I don't think in general play any one of us thinks he's better than Cunha. He's not, especially. But let's put it this way: there are some things Garnacho can do, which I think he's like at those narrow things he's better than Cunha,
Yeah.
specifically at how he attacks the box and uh, specifically at how he attacks the box. Actually, like I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else, but
Yeah.
just that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cunha has way other like different advantages which fits Amorim's system much
Right.
better,
Right. Yeah. I
especially his
think,
ball
like we said,
carrying.
Cunha is probably the one player who kind of fits in so well with Amorim's system because Wolves
Absolutely,
played a
yeah,
similar
yeah, yeah.
formation last year.
Yeah, I think he's the one player I can confidently say plays in the correct and best position
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
him and the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's been a long episode. But yeah, thanks again for everyone tuning in and seeing this on YouTube later. Make
Yeah.
sure to like the video, leave a comment on what you think about the two games or about Dorgo or Dalo, or I think we pretty much discussed the entire first 11 in this pod. But except Lamens, which I will continue, who I'll continue to defend till end of time because he's been such a welcome change over Onana.
Yeah, it
But yeah,
certainly has. Yeah,
definitely. He catches a ball, man. He catches a ball. When was the
that's
last
good
time
enough.
a
That's
United goalkeeper did that?
crazy, but it's been a few. It's been a while.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what it is. It's still the international break, so there's no game this weekend, and we play next weekend again on the Monday. So there's some time before United kicks the ball again. But yeah, enjoy the international
Thank God for
break.
that.
I think Germany is starting soon against Luxembourg. It's what I see happening, and probably a few other games as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it from us. We'll see if we do some special episode next week before the yeah we'll look at that. Yeah, that's all from us today, and thank you for joining us. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next week.
Bye bye.